Alright friends, welcome back to Tactical Enlightenment. You're watching another episode of our Expert Tactics series, showing some of the most difficult battles I've faced in my campaign, and then deploying complicated and unique tactics to overcome these formidable challenges. Alright friends, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment, and as you can see from the startup here, we've gotten ourselves into a bit of a bind. I was chasing a Khazate party that looked like they wanted to siege our capital. There were some Sturgeon forces that I was sort of pushing as I was chasing the Khazate party, and lo and behold, we got near Meklovia Castle, and the enemy poured out of the castle. I didn't realize there was Northern Empire forces here. The next thing you know, you can see we're in this gigantic pickle where the total number of forces, it streams like off the map. Like these guys are like barely even on the map. So we're running with reduced player damage for this gigantic battle. This is about the most lopsided battle I've been in, and interesting. I thought we were going to be at the, we're going to be able to defend a bridgehead, but as you can see, that's not the case. We do have some elevational advantage here, but this makes this battle even harder. I was optimistic. I'm not optimistic now. You know, this is against Khazate, the Northern Empire, and there's some Sturgeon forces here as well. So you're talking horse archers, tough melee, elite cataphracts, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to stretch out cav wings here. As is often the case, we don't have infantry in a battle like this until later on. Our entire, first tranche of troops here, 200 and some troops, will all be noble units. Battanian Fianchamps and Khans Guards, etc. Of course, our army at this stage is a big amalgamation of different troops. So I'm essentially going to try to form a defensive ring with these two cavalry walls. I've got the 2nd Cav on the far left over there, right underneath that ridge, forcing the enemy to come over the ridge and then get hammered by arrows when they do. And then the 3rd Corps, we're going to have just hold the center while the enemy's coming out really aggressive here. I mean, I guess that's not a surprise, and they outnumber us worse than 3 to 1. Now here they come. They're roaring in. All right, so we're going to basically try to hold the line here, pound them with projectiles. We just open fire and see what we can do here. Oftentimes they get they get kind of stuck in the cav walls, and of course your archers and javelin throwers can just have a blast. I'll probably kill some of my own troops in a battle like this. It's hard to even tell who's who. Hit my own horses at least. Yeah, killing my own guys already. But we are racking up the kills just with guys that are sort of stuck on our cav lines. The big question is whether or not their vanguard charges. That's it already. I already see their main vanguard. A lot of times when you're fighting against Khazate, their vanguard stays back, but they are coming in aggressively. So we're going to shift here a little bit. We're going to move the 2nd Cav over to the right and form our 3rd into a square and try to pound these guys from the side. If we can keep them sort of preoccupied by our square, then maybe we have a chance of really dwindling down this vanguard. I'm keeping the 1st, 6th, and 8th back for the right moment. We're just going to try to pound them with ammunition here from their flank. You can see they're basically heading straight towards the square. They have archers all the way up here too, so their whole force of like 780 guys has just shoved right in here. Yeah, well, we charge. The archers look like they're now changing their mind and trying to reform, so we're going to fucking aggressively charge this. These are tough archers too. These are all tier 5 archers. The cav square is doing its job. It's really holding out against the infantry. I need some support over here though. It's like me against fucking 10 archers. Where's that 6th Corps? I mean, there's only like 10 guys in our 6th Corps, but they're going to work there. These archers behind us are a problem. There's got to be hyper aggressive against archers in a situation like this. You can't allow them to set up. And it does look like they're trying to reform and back up a bit. Maybe losing a few limbs, change their mind. Yeah, they're running faster than I am. Can't even keep up with these guys. The infantry looks like it's still in there fighting, but I think it's been decimated between the archers, skirmishers, and 8th Corps. So the enemy's already reforming, which is obviously good news for us in this battle. We're going to let them come in again. We're going to play very defensive in this battle. Again, if I didn't mention it at the onset, I was effectively ambushed in this battle. The Northern Empire was in a castle. I didn't really understand, or I mean, I didn't see that they were in there. It's a little bit. You can see it if you look. If you're hovering over the castle, it'll tell you that the units are there. But I just wasn't paying attention. I was sort of aggressively pursuing this Khazate force, going to try to destroy it and the sturgeons that were nearby. And lo and behold, it wasn't an intentional ambush. I highly doubt. The computer doesn't do advanced ambushes like that, but it acted as a very effective ambush. And now we're in a bad spot. Also, because they attacked us, we cannot retreat in this battle. This battle is for all the marbles. And this is 90% of our forces in the campaign are left in this main army of some 2,500 troops. Maybe it wasn't even 2,500. Well, we're pounding these horse archers. That shield wall is doing an outstanding job of sort of breaking up their retreat. They're getting pounded by arrows. I've got a decent 7th Corps of like 10 horse archers. Some of them are Khan's guards, which of course is ironic because we're fighting the Khazate. We're going to hold fire again here. This is going to be a little bit of a battle of attrition when it comes to ammunition. I think there's like 80 Battanian Fian champs right here between our 10-12 armies. Maybe we have 100 in this battle, and they're all out in this first tranche. Well, I need to use these guys really wisely. They're very powerful units, but pretty soon they will be out of ammunition. And of course, they're not worthless for melee, but they need protection. And I'm going to have to use an infantry division to try to protect them. This cav division is pretty damaged over here on the left flank. Of course, all the cav divisions are going to get damaged in this battle. At least we have a little break, a little reprieve. Could behead some of these fucks. I definitely have some cav that I wasn't watching close enough that charged out there. That's the death spam. Some of my guys are getting killed. They were overextended, right? This is interesting. The enemy is sitting back and just letting their horse archers attack. They don't have enough real horse archers to present a major threat. I mean, it is making us waste ammunition, because if you just sit here and don't fire, they will just shoot you full of arrows. I'm going to continue to play defensive here and just see what they do. You see my first infantry? That's the one guy. That's Varag. Anybody who's watched the channel, he's like a cousin of this character, and he's a virtual identical build. Huge two-handed axe and lots of javelins. This is very interesting. They have an infantry division here that's they're isolated. I don't know what they're doing, but this is a mistake. And in this battle, we'll take every mistake we can. We charge. In we go. The 8th Corps charges. They decked half their guys on the ground. We're going to pound these guys with the 6th, 8th, 1st, and archers and see if we can't destroy it. This is simply a mistake. They don't have any other support. These guys are just absolutely massacred. Now they're sending in cav, but it's too late. Like, we already cut down that infantry wave. That was like 100 guys they sent in. They just didn't have any support, and we annihilated them. I mean, we're still working through them here because they sent in cav. But this cav is fucked too. The enemy is making mistakes. This is giving us a chance to win this kind of battle. They're continuing to stay defensive too. Well, we're going to stay defensive too unless there's an opportunity like that. That was just a golden opportunity. Those are the kind of things that only experience will give you. You know, I pretty quickly identified. I'm sure if you want to see, you could rewind it. But basically, I looked down. I saw a main tranche of their troops were down in the valley still, and they had this 100 infantry charging up. It was just a golden opportunity. Now we're backing up here again. Attacking my own guys. I'm just foaming at the mouth. make the enemy come to us. I'm having a hard time positioning my troops. You see what's happening every time I try to draw out my archers and saying charge. It's part of the new the new, whatever you want to call it, interface, where you're essentially allowed and able to use units and directly target people, the enemy units. The problem is that sometimes it can get very difficult. Infantry. They have a big long line of infantry and archers behind. Yeah, we're gonna stay back. That's way too strong a force to attack right now. Basically, this new interface, it's a nice concept, right? I can assign my horse archers to attack a specific group, like their horse archers, but it's buggy. Sometimes all you're trying to do is, I'm still trying to move my troops back here, and when I just point them at the ground, it's saying attack. It's assigning those units to attack somebody, and that's not what I want at all. I want these guys to just be standing still while we reform here. These guys are too tightly bound up. It's interesting though. They're just letting us whittle them down. We're getting kills with ranged shots, and they've got about 500. Yeah, right about 500 troops there. And they're just wasting their ammunition on our cav shield wall here. They got horse archers behind us that's doing some damage. They're killing being champs. But I'm just not that concerned about 15, 20 horse archers. They'll get shot down with time. The enemy's bunched up very tightly here. I've seen this before, this defensive posture, and strategically, here's what I'm thinking, folks. I have Battanian Fiend Chaps. There's like 80 guys, but a lot of them are not holding their sword. That's an indication they're out of ammunition. I think it's time to use these guys and try to turn the enemy flank. What I can do is I can bring this strong infantry line up. This is a reinforcement line. This is our first batch of reinforcements. I don't see any other reinforcements. So we have this 4th and 5th are all Battanian Fiend Chaps. Look, they're all charging me. I can have them attack these guys right here. These horse archers got too close. I can send my 8th and 5th in and just to savagely attack these horse archers hand to hand. But here's what I'm thinking. That was just a little excursion. I've got this infantry line that's just holding down the enemy's center. We're going to use this and a very small cav wall to lead troops on the right flank. Then I'm going to push my troops far past the enemy's left flank here, way to the side of the enemy, and turn their flank. Turn their flank is a military maneuver where you basically attack the side flank of the enemy while you pin them down in the center. And they've allowed us to do it. In we go. So here comes the 5th. The 8th is charging with me, and the 1st is pushing from the center. Look at, they're fucking freaked out. Their archers are trying to gain distance because they know they're about to get massacred. But their infantry, instead of fighting, seems to be reforming. That's the wrong move, because these guys, while they're moving, they're a lot more vulnerable. I mean, they can't hold a shield up, and some of them are defending okay. But the bottom line is that was already a major advantage, and now we have momentum. Our Battanian Fiend Champs are just charging forward. These archers can't spread out still. Our units are fast, and that's a big advantage in a battle like this where the enemy is trying to reform / reposition. And we killed a lot of guys just with them trying to reform. Here come reinforcements. Lots of heavy cav. All right, pulling back, preparing for this heavy cav. And keep this strong 6th Infantry line in a shield wall right at the front. Battanian Fiend Champs are all swinging wildly at the front there. We got to take care of this cav first, though. Anytime that you have multiple threats, right, archers, infantry, and they have heavy cav, you want to address it. And of course, my pole arm is just savage on these motherfuckers. Look at, we can turn their flank again. They're leaving their flank open. I still have a strong 5th and 8th Corps. I have 52 guys in the 5th. I've got some guys in the 4th I can pin at the center. And then we're just going to fly in like fucking reckless maniacs on this flank. I'm going to send the 8th Corps way the fuck out there. Just all the way to the bridge. Charge, motherfuckers. I can actually see the Fiend Champs on the corner there, physically turning the enemy flank. Now we just got to get in here like reckless fast. The key here is speed. The key here is just to push in and don't let the enemy even get a break. Look, I'm going to send them behind the fucking troops. we're going to essentially try to encircle the enemy. Now, the enemy's triple our size. This is very risky, right? I'm sorry at the clicking noise. I realize sometimes I'm just clicking like crazy. It's very risky, but we're just going to pour. I see guys getting killed. We're going to pour in here, though, because the enemy is surrounded. They're bigger than us, but they're also fucking freaking out. And, of course, enemies in real life, if they get surrounded, they would freak out, too. That first infantry held out really well as a wall, and now we're tearing in here. That was a devastating couple of flank turns there. They basically let us turn their flank twice in a very short period of time. Now here's the dilemma I face. I know I'm going to get more reinforcements, and now I'm to the point where I'm going to start suffering losses, so I'm going to choose some units to send back. I'm going to send the 8th Corps back. I can't send the 1st, or the 6th rather. That infantry division has to keep pressure on the enemy, but we can pull some of these Battanian Fianchamps back too. See, I'm getting reinforcements way back there. That's the 1st Corps' archers. Okay, we'll send the 8th back. The bottom line, though, is those Battanian Fianchamps that are also right in the face of the enemy, I want them just to keep on swinging it out. The 5th Corps, I mean. Those guys were deep in enemy territory. They might as well get their licks in before they're eventually taken down. And I can kind of support them here, but ultimately those guys are going to get killed. But it was worth it. We basically devastated, I don't know, several hundred enemy with those 2 flank turns. I mean, we're paying for it now. It's like a credit card. It was nice at the beginning, and now it's really starting to suck. Right? We've already made our purchases, and now we're paying interest. But we also reformed. I've got this strong line of archers here. We're going to move these guys back even further. I've got a little band of infantry here, 54 guys, 55 guys of the 4th, and then I still have a handful of the 8th Corps left. The 8th Corps, for those who don't know, watching a video for the first time, you're watching a pretty chaotic battle for your first time. This is not a battle where I can speak slowly and sort of pause it. I may do some editing later on and add a few things that are instructive. But this is a fight for our campaign, our kingdom right here. My 8th Corps basically, though, is our most elite units. A lot of them are high-level family members or companions. And, of course, they form sort of like a royal guard or a kind of like a Napoleon's old guard. All right, 450 more troops coming up. We don't have much infantry to confront this, so this is going to be problematic. We've got our 8th Corps, and we've got this small band, and there's like 16 guys in the 8th Corps. Our Archer Corps is also not very big, too. That we're so badly outnumbered that we have like 150 troops, and the enemy has 700-800. That's just how we're going to have to fight this battle. So I got my infantry in a nice block there. I'm going to put my 8th Corps on this flank. We're essentially just doing the same thing. This time we're going to use the elevation here. I've got the 8th Corps with me, right? I'm positioning them right with me. Oh, one of them just got taken out. I'll take her shield at least. All right, we got her shield. In we go with the 8th Corps. I'm going to attack with that 4th Corps. And again, we're going to continue to try to turn this enemy flank. Turning the flank is basically where you're attacking on the side of the enemy force. It's highly devastating. They have a lot of their weaker units on the side. They have a lot of their archers. And so these guys, they're not the shields that are going to be at the front of the infantry. So we're much more effective coming in the side. That said, it's a huge force. Unless I get reinforcements, I cannot overcome this force. I mean, these guys are giving it a valiant effort. I think I was able to get some of the 8th Corps out, pull them back. Where the fuck are my reinforcements? Sometimes the game just leaves you hanging. You're just like, in a battle like this too, here they come. They're coming over this hill. Some archers. Of course, my reinforcements are in a shit location. They're being sent in on the flank of the enemy. Like, I have no choice. These fucking archers, I've got to have to charge. These guys are right here. We're going to have to charge right into battle. Now, the good news is the guys with ammunition won't charge. They'll shoot. Archers aren't stupid. If there's distance between them and they have ammo, they won't. They'll just shoot. But what this does is it gives me some ability to attack the flank there with those troops are highly vulnerable. It's just giving me these troops in on the edges of the battlefield where the enemy is already in big groups. Right? It's very rude of the AI, quite frankly. Very rude fella. And so I've got infantry, but they're fucking behind the enemy. So I just told them to charge. Right? You know, at this stage, it's a tactical mess. The location that they're putting my infantry in a critical battle is dog shit bad. I'm going to charge in here kind of aggressive. To this stage, I've avoided any significant blows. I've still got a good amount of health. And of course, my guy's an archer wrecking machine. Do a little bit of weaving. I've got a 6-foot javelin sticking out of my shield. All right, now we should have a path clear for these infantry to set up. It looks like there's archers too. I don't know why. It says archers, but I think, yeah, those are infantry. It's calling them archers. These are part of the things, some of the things you just have to learn when you fight huge battles. If you haven't fought huge battles yet, unfortunately, little game quirks. There's no real way around it either. It's less bad. Like these guys are just dead. These were infantry that I told to charge, of course, over the other side of the hill, and they charged all right, right against 900 troops. So they're all dead, basically. I can give them a little bit of vengeance here on the retreat. You can do a pretty good job because all these troops are fixated on your troops, but we're going to lose all those guys. Those 20 guys that seem to charge there. Holy fucking cavalry. Now I got a little infantry line here and a good amount of archers. That's a lot of archers, actually. If we could stretch these archers out, these guys are going to be able to lay waste to the enemy here. These horse archers have no chance. The ones I don't behead will be shot full of fucking arrows. I just see fucking crossbow bolts and arrows just whizzing by me. Now, it's all ally fire. Yeah, there's Battanian Fiends. We're out of champs at this stage, but we still have some Fiends. I see some crossbow in here. I've got this decent infantry corps still, 70 guys. It's in a nice little block here, too. I can see my archers firing over my shoulder here. Right? Thank God there's no friendly fire from the AI. And I'm just going to do work on the edges here. These archers are not paying any attention to me, at least right now. We're just going to cut them down. Archers are shooting downhill, so in many cases you can actually see the bolts going over my head. My guys are able to shoot the enemy even though my infantry is here. All right, that's why your terrain features, it's so important to use those. God, we're outnumbered. I mean, it's just a wall of the enemy. It looks like a sporting event just got out, and there's fucking 20,000 guys that just poured out the gates. You want epic. Is this epic enough for you folks? Infantry division is doing okay, but they're starting to dissolve away. I see each guy's got like 6 guys pounding at him. And I'm gonna have to start being careful with my health here. These motherfuckers trying to get the edge on us. I don't think so, bitch. Yeah, see, the difficulty in this battle is now we have to deal with the Sturgeon infantry. So horse archers, cataphracts, and now Sturgeon infantry. Sturgeon infantry, in my opinion, is the best in the game. Maybe the Azurai is close, but I favor the Sturgeon infantry. I can kind of hide over this ridge here. There's a couple guys shooting at me, but I'm a little bit like out of the limelight if I just sort of hang over this ridge. Of course, these cav always are drawn to me, and of course they're just absolutely massacred by my fast axe. No chance. I'm gonna just cruise in on the back here. Hey, you missed, motherfucker, dead. These guys paying no attention at all. The enemy basically advanced, and all these guys effectively returned their back to me. Yeah, we're gonna plow through these fucks. Oh shit. Juke and dodge. I have my archers here in shield wall, and I told them to charge. As the enemy infantry is starting to get to our archers, sometimes it's better to have your guys charge. I've got reinforcements coming in here right again in the midst of the enemy. So we're going to send infantry basically right at the enemy flank. and then try to get our archers towards the rear. We have 3 divisions here, so we will be able to start doing some tactical things here pretty soon with our different divisions. It's basically 2 different divisions of archers and 1 of infantry. It would be nice if you could hit a button, split your infantry division or whatever. Maybe that's a mod or something down the road, but I try to show the game not too much altered from what the average player is playing. You know, I understand that, of course, these battles are bigger than you're facing, but you will eventually face huge battles like this in a campaign. And I'm hoping that showing advanced tactics, showing how to deal with the reinforcement system, the interface, will help players. So we're sort of backpedaling here. I'm trying to get my forces sort of reset. I've got one other trick up my sleeve, and that's this ridge back here. I can set up either a peekaboo ridge, or knowing this map, I've played on this map a lot, there's a little bottleneck on the other side of this ridge over by the bridge. I gotta clean up some of these they have so many cavalry compared to us. I mean, we literally have no cavalry, and they have like, I don't know, 900. It seems like fucking hundreds. And so of course I have to be a one-man army in a situation like this. This guy is a cavalry killing machine. And in this kind of a battle, you know, I'm just not going to be able to sit back and be a general. Look at, they got a ton of horse archers behind us. I can't fucking move because there's so many dead carcasses of the horses we've killed, or the riders we've killed off them. I'm going to handle some of these horse archers. But the enemy's putting a lot of pressure on us now. They've got all 4 different types of attacks going on. They got horse archers fucking behind us. Of course, they're rapidly getting beheaded. You know, I just like cavalry. I also handle horse archers well. What do I got here? I've got it looks like 2 archer divisions. I'm going to charge with one and try to defend with the other, but this is far from optimal at this stage. Kill some more cavalry. Look how many there are. What the fuck? There's so many enemies. Motherfuckers. I can hear some watchers saying, well, this is your own fucking choice, dude. You wanted to fight everybody. That's true. We do. We want to fight all these guys. So I call them motherfuckers, but it's like a sport, and then you go shake your hand after you win. Like ultimately, this is for fun. In this campaign, I'm intentionally fighting all 8 kingdoms now. You know, I don't recommend, don't try this at home, kids. But we're, you know, trying to make this. We're trying to essentially make this as hard as possible. Maybe it's impossible, right? It's not just as hard as possible. Maybe it's impossible. We've lost battles like this before. They seem to go on for fucking forever. The enemy seems to go on forever. Yeah, I just don't have a lot of options. I've got 2 divisions. About the only thing I can do is continue to use this elevation like I am. We've got archers up here, and I think at some point it's going to be time to pull these guys over the ridge. Well, this is kind of working. As the enemy retreats, I can just come in here and fucking absolutely cleave a path. Right, at this stage, we do have higher level troops. People often see that in battle and wonder, you know, how come we have so much higher level troops? Well, I'll tell you one reason is we killed their high level troops in those devastating 2 or 3 turning movements early in this battle. Not only did we massacre them when they first charged us and we gave them incredible javelin fire, but those 2 turning movements, we must have killed like 1,000 guys. Look at this, they got infantry behind them. So we're effectively able to sandwich the enemy here. Not very often does the reinforcement system give you an advantage like this. In this case, I'm going to drag this infantry behind me. Now, it's a lot of guys we're trying to kill here. But we're going to be able to, these guys are sandwiched, these guys are fucked. These archers and this small squad of infantry is totally toast. They are sandwiched between archers. Now, they did a number on my archers. That was like 100 guys. Now it's like 20. But they're going to pay the price on the other end with this infantry. We're going to draw out another strong line, and we're going to elevate our archers one more time. But I am starting to think of that ridge here soon. If you're going to make a big movement, such as the one I'm considering, going over this ridge, you want to make sure your timing is good. Don't do it if the enemy is actively attacking you. Now would actually be a good time, but I want to see if I can use this ridge one more time. Although they're all over us. So I've got my troops kind of separated already from the enemy troops. We're going to do it. I'm just going to have these guys follow me. It's the easiest way to get them to pull over this ridge quickly. Now look what I was talking about. Look at this. I can set my archers down here where they have line of sight on the enemy as they come over. And I should be able to, I'll have to finesse it a little bit here. But what I'm going to be able to do is make a nasty, that was accidental. Hopefully nobody saw that. I typically don't reference the survivor page, like how many troops we have left. I'd prefer not to know. Anyways, so I'm going to try to create essentially what they did in the Battle of 300, the Battle of Thermopylae, where there's a very, very tight band of very tough warriors holding back the enemy. Right? In this case, of course, we also have archer support, and it's going to be nasty archer support. I'm trying to kill these guys here because these are the closest ones that are likely to attack the archers. If I can get those archers down there firing and block up this little hole. Look, I got a lot of good troops here. I see Britannia wildlings in there. And look at our archers are pounding them with arrows already. So I want to be able to stretch this. I'm having a hard time being able to stretch this. I need this to be correct. I want this to be tight. I got fucking enemies on the side here. Motherfucker. Blow your arms off, dude. Alright, now these guys have to hold and shield wall, and we're going to eventually attack. Not right away. Essentially, I want the enemy to stack themselves up here so they can get shot with arrows. The timing, it needs the right moment. I can just cut a path myself. Now we charge. The archers are absolutely hammering the enemy in the middle there. I don't know if you can see all the bolts. They're definitely getting shot at themselves, but the enemy is much more clogged up. Oh shit, they're starting to burst the dam here. So I have to try to cover this center here. If I need to, I'll charge with archers, but obviously if the enemy bursts through here, we're all massacred. I might even not be able to escape. There's so many enemy in here. So I'm just trying to support the center here. The two wings are starting to get enveloped. I'm going to effectively just try to attack the guys that are attacking the wings. Oh, the enemy's reforming. Beautiful. That's what we want to see, is them reforming and trying to retreat under this absolutely murderous archer hail. They're getting torched on the way out. I've got my infantry in pursuit. We've got to be careful how quickly, how aggressively we pursue here. These troops are not retreating. You can tell that by the fact that some are defending still. I'm going to go through here, though, and try to kill their morale even more. If I can kill, a couple dozen guys on the retreat, some of these troops may retreat. They may rout, rather. That's a lot more troops coming. Yeah, they're still actively defending. They're swinging their weapons at me. These guys haven't routed. We're going to continue to kill as many of these fucks as we can. Those are running side. Those troops are running in a very odd direction. They're trying to, like, shoot and throw javelins at me, but they're running in a strange direction. I think the enemy is fucking routing. I don't know if you felt that little hitch. There's a little tiny hitch in the graphics, a little stutter. That's what's happening. The enemy just fucking routed. Wow. Good riddance, motherfuckers. Wow, that was 6,000 troops, and we just battered the fuck out of them. I don't know how many troops we have left. I'll look here in a second, but we still have elite troops. We're like ready to fight more, and the enemy is fucking... The enemy's out of here. We basically broke their morale. It must have been such a bad massacre. Let's see. So we lost 1,000, and we killed 3,400. Look at all the noble deaths. Holy shit. What a massacre. 1, 2, 3, 4. We lost one of ours, and they lost 5. What a fucking bloodbath. Well, this was a battle, I'm perfectly honest. I kind of thought we were cooked. We got ambushed. We were in a very bad spot. I was hoping we were going to have a bridge defense. when I saw we didn't have a bridge defense, especially against almost 3.5 times the number of troops, I kind of figured we were fucked. But a couple key tactical moves there, turning the enemy's flank, very good timing on attacks. Use of a square, use of the Peekaboo Ridge there, and then that little jammed up situation at the end where we really murdered the fuck out of them. Ended up winning the day. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We're doing plenty more videos like this in my late game campaign. At this stage, the campaign is literally 5,000 games old. We're really starting to be hemmed into a corner. I think we're down to maybe 2 cities and 3 or 4 castles. So you don't have to be a genius to know that the campaign is going badly at this stage. But we're going to fight it out to the last battle. We may go down just like the 300. We may go down in a battle of glory, but we're going to fight it all the way out. Hopefully you enjoyed this titanic clash. It's about as big a battle as I've ever fought. Certainly the biggest battle I've ever won. And that was a highly enjoyable battle from a perspective of using tactics. We had a couple of very dynamic tactical moves there that hopefully people can learn from and apply in their own games. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, leave comments. You can critique me. I'm an old school dog. I can take criticism just fine. And I'll talk to you friends next time.